Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission, as always, is to take your requests, look at the research, and really deliver the essential knowledge you need. And today, we are diving deep into a topic that's, well, incredibly important. We're talking about maintaining sobriety during those high-stress times, specifically using the winter holiday season as our example. We know this time of year can feel like a complete minefield, so we want to help you get equipped. Our sources for this deep dive come directly from the amazing folks at New Life Recovery Centers in San Jose, California. They've got 21 years of experience in successful addiction recovery treatment, so these are real battlefield-tested strategies. So our mission today is really twofold. First, we need to unpack the psychology of it, the specific challenges that test your recovery, and second, we need to detail the resources and professional support out there, especially focusing on what NLRC offers.
That framing is so crucial because for anyone in recovery, these high-stress periods, they're not just a little more tempting. They change the entire environment you're operating in. Our sources use a powerful metaphor for it. It feels like walking through a minefield.
A minefield? I think we need to stay on that for a second. Because most people just think, oh, there's more alcohol at parties.
Yeah.
But a minefield suggests hidden dangers. What's really converging here?
It's the sheer density of it all. It's usually not one big thing. It's, several smaller pressures all hitting at the same time.
Like what?
Well, think about the emotional expectations. This cultural idea that you have to be perfectly happy. That right there sets you up for feeling like a failure.
You add money on top of that.
Exactly. The financial stress of gifts and travel. And then there's the family tension. You're often around people who are tied to your past substance use. And what's really fascinating from a neurological perspective is that this cocktail of stressors actually increases your sensitivity. It can intensify cravings that maybe have been dormant for months.
So the big takeaway here is what? Exactly.
The key insight is this. If you feel those intense cravings, it doesn't mean your recovery is failing. It means the environment has changed. It just means you need to adjust your coping strategies. It's a call for compassion, not self-judgment.
That reframes everything. It's not about willpower. It's about strategy. Okay, so let's move into that social landscape, because the sources point to these powerful holiday myths that make everything so much harder.
Exactly. These myths, they undermine your ability to set boundaries. We've got to tear them down.
Let's start with myth number one, and this one is, I think, maybe the most damaging. Everyone is happy during the holidays.
Oh, it's a devastating myth. It just breeds isolation. You're scrolling through social media, seeing these perfect families and perfect joy.
But that's not the reality.
Not at all. The truth is, so many people are dealing with anxiety, grief, loneliness, you name it. They're just masking it.
And if you're struggling, you see that, and you compare your inside feelings to their outside performance. And that creates shame. And shame is just gasoline on the fire for addiction.
Precisely. So the recovery tip from NLRC's framework is emotional authenticity. You don't owe anyone a performance. It is so much healthier to just feel what you're feeling and, crucially, to talk about it with a sponsor or a therapist.
Release that pressure valve.
Yes. Don't bottle it up.
Which leads right into myth number two, which the sources call one of the most dangerous traps out there. One drink won't hurt. It's a special occasion.
This one goes right to the heart of misunderstanding the disease of addiction. For someone with a substance use disorder, that one drink, it can instantly wake up all the old neurological pathways.
It's not a moral failure.
It's a physical ignition of a chronic illness. The idea that you can just pause the disease for Christmas dinner it's just a fantasy.
How do you defend against that?
Yeah.
People can be pretty pushy.
Preparation. You have to rehearse your answer. Have something clear and confident ready to go. I don't drink. Or I'm focusing on my health. That's it. You don't owe anyone a long explanation.
And what about that little social trick the source mentioned?
Oh, it's brilliant. Just keep a non-alcoholic drink in your hand, a glass of sparkling water, whatever. It's a social cue. People are way less likely to offer you a drink if you're already holding one.
Simple but effective. Okay, myth number three, and this one is all about family dynamics. I have to attend every single family event.
This is where recovery demands some radical self-care. The truth is non-negotiable on this one. Protecting your sobriety is more important than any social expectation. Full stop.
So if a situation feels toxic or unsafe, setting a boundary isn't selfish.
It's a life-sustaining necessity.
But let's be real, families can push back. Hard. If you skip a big party because it's a huge trigger, you might get guilt trips, maybe even anger. What's the guidance for navigating that conflict?
That's a great question. The key is to set the boundary firmly, but also kindly. You don't have to argue or justify. Something simple like, I really appreciate the invite, but I have to prioritize my health this year.
And then brace for impact.
And then plan for the predictable fallout, yes. But also, plan alternatives. Send a text later or schedule a one-on-one coffee with the person you actually want to see.
So you give yourself permission to skip things, you set time limits if you do go, and you always have an exit strategy.
Knowing you can leave at any moment is a huge safety net.
Okay, that covers our defense. Let's shift to offense, moving beyond just avoiding triggers to actually building a solid recovery toolkit. Our sources say it starts with recognizing those triggers.
Right, and we can basically split them into two camps, external and internal.
External seems straightforward. People, places.
Exactly. The holiday party itself, a certain song, maybe even a smell that's tied to past use. You can often plan around those.
But the internal ones.
Yeah.
Those feel trickier during such an emotional time.
They are. We're talking about your emotional state. Feeling judged by family, financial stress, but also nostalgia. That temptation to romanticize the past. Recognizing those feelings is the first step to managing them.
Which brings us to the first proactive strategy. Maintain structure and routine. That seems almost impossible during the holidays, which are basically organized chaos.
They are the enemy of consistency.
Yeah.
But consistency is what keeps you emotionally regulated in recovery. So even if your whole schedule is a mess, you have to protect your core routines.
Like what, specifically?
Keep going to your meetings or therapy, prioritize some kind of physical movement, and try your best to keep sleep and meal times regular. It reduces that background anxiety that just fuels cravings.
And this is where that simple but incredibly powerful acronym comes in. The one that acts like a quick personal check-in, HALT.
Yes, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. If you are in any of those four states, your vulnerability to relapse just skyrockets.
And HALT isn't just a label for a feeling, right? It's a prompt for action.
Exactly. If you recognize you're lonely, that's the alarm bell telling you to immediately use strategy number 2. Strengthen your support network.
And if you're angry or anxious,
The instruction is to maybe go for a walk, do something physical to break that emotional loop before it spirals. HALT is the diagnosis, so you can prescribe the right action.
so strategy 2, strengthening that support network. Isolation is a huge risk.
Yeah.
How do you stay connected when everyone's busy or traveling?
It has to be intentional. Plan on attending extra meetings. A lot of groups have special holiday schedules for this exact reason. And stay in frequent contact with your sponsor or a peer.
A text isn't enough.
Make the call. You need to build a wall of connection around you on those high-risk days.
And I noticed NLRC really emphasizes their alumni program during these seasons. That seems to speak to the idea that recovery is a long-term community effort.
Absolutely. The clinical work is the foundation. But that alumni program, that's the scaffolding you use to navigate real life. That peer support is vital.
And the third strategy is maybe the most hopeful one. Create new, sober holiday traditions. The source says recovery is about transformation, not deprivation.
Transformation is the perfect word. It's about letting go of the old, unhealthy traditions and actively building new, meaningful ones. This is how you redefine the whole season for yourself.
What are some examples of those new traditions?
They can be anything, really. Host a sober get-together focused on food and games. Volunteer somewhere. The act of service is incredibly therapeutic. Plan an outdoor activity.
Or something smaller.
Or something as simple as a daily gratitude practice. You're creating new, positive memories that start to crowd out the old ones tied to substance use.
Now we have to be realistic. Even with the best toolkit, the strongest support, sometimes the holidays just become overwhelming. We're talking intense cravings, real emotional distress, thoughts of using.
And this is the moment where reaching out for a higher level of care isn't a failure. It's a sign of incredible strength and self-awareness.
Because recovery isn't a straight line. If the holidays are showing you where you're vulnerable, then adjusting your level of care is a proactive move. And this is exactly where New Life Recovery Centers in San Jose comes in.
And the fact that they offer a full continuum of care is what makes them so effective in a crisis. They can meet you exactly where you are.
Let's break that down. First, for immediate safety, they have a medically supervised alcohol and drug detox.
And if the home environment is just too triggering, entering inpatient residential treatment might be the smartest, most protective step you can take. It lets you hit pause on the chaos and just focus on healing.
Then there's the outpatient care. They offer PHP day treatment, which is a partial hospitalization program. How does that work during a high-risk time like the holidays?
Well, PHP gives you that intense, daily, clinical structure hours of therapy, but you still go home at night. So that structure becomes your anchor. The programming is heavily focused on relapse prevention and managing triggers in real time.
And for those who need support but also have work or family commitments, they can't just drop.
That's where the Superflex IOP comes in, their intensive outpatient program. The Superflex part is key. It provides that clinical intensity but with flexible scheduling, so recovery support fits into your life, not the other way around.
And they really work to make this accessible. NLRC takes most major insurance, PPO, EAP, unions, and they do free insurance verification.
And for you, the listener, it's so important to know they're licensed by the state and have the highest level of accreditation from CRF International. That's your assurance that you are getting top-tier, ethical, effective care.
It's a full spectrum of support. If we bring this all back to the big picture, what's the real value of a sober holiday? It doesn't look like the movies.
No, it won't look like the filtered pictures on social media, but it will be honest, it will be real, and it will be deeply meaningful. Every single time you navigate a high-risk season sober, you're proving to yourself that recovery is possible. You're building something new and better. Recovery doesn't take a holiday, and neither does hope.
That is the essential insight. New Life Recovery Centers has over 2 decades of experience walking with people on this journey, and they are ready to walk with you. If you or someone you love is looking for life-changing addiction recovery treatment in the San Jose area, whether it's detox, residential PHP, or the Superflex IOP, you can start that conversation right now. Please call 408-297-1182. That's 408-297-1182 for a free, completely confidential consultation today. You can find them at 782 Park Avenue, Suite 1 in San Jose. Thank you for joining us for the deep dive.